Kate Coleman is being rushed into a hospital, but something terrible happens. She's pregnant, in labor, terrified, and expecting to meet her baby girl finally. But blood pours from her as she's taken for her surgery. Something goes wrong. Doctors surrounding her tell her baby didn't survive, and she's handed a baby drenched in blood. But then Kate wakes up. It was a nightmare. But Kate really did lose her baby. She wanted to name her Jessica, and that loss has been eating away at her ever since. Not long after, Kate is seen speaking with her therapist, Dr. Browning, about going to see kids for adoption. She feels nightmares are telling her she's not ready to adopt yet. She's also a recovering alcoholic, and she's scared of failing again, especially as a mother. Kate and her husband, John, already have 2 children. Their son Daniel is older and rebellious. Their younger daughter Max is deaf and communicates through sign language. Kate loves her children deeply, but the death of Jessica has left a hole in the family that never really closed. One day, when Kate goes to pick Max up from school, she almost meets with a car accident because she was distracted, but luckily she misses by an inch. Eventually, Kate and John decide to adopt. They feel they still have love to give, and somewhere out there a child might need a home. So they visit an orphanage, where they meet Sister Abigail. While Kate is walking through the building, John hears someone singing. He follows the voice and finds a young girl alone in a room painting a beautiful picture. Her name is Esther. Right away, Esther feels different from the other children. She's polite, calm, unusually intelligent, and carries herself almost like a tiny adult. Her clothes are old-fashioned, her speech is formal, and she seems mature far beyond her age. Kate and John are drawn to her. Sister Abigail explains that Esther came from difficult circumstances, and she was from Russia. Her previous adoptive family died in a house fire, and Esther was the only survivor. Despite that tragedy, Sister Abigail says Esther has never caused any serious trouble, but only created a mess when they tried to remove the ribbons she wears. They adopt her. Esther meets Max and immediately tries to connect with her. She learns sign, pays attention to her, and Max quickly warms up to her new sister. John's mother, Grandma Barbara, also seems charmed. Daniel, however, isn't impressed. He sees Esther as weird from the start, and he doesn't try hard to hide it. One day, it's raining and lightning, and John and Kate are getting cozy together. Esther senses something and goes to get Max, and they go to their parents' room, and Esther says they're scared of the lightning and that she wants to sleep next to John. Max and Esther play near the frozen pond outside. Kate panics when she sees them there and tells them that they know they can't play there. In the past, when Kate was drinking heavily, Max almost drowned there. Daniel is playing with his paintball outside and he hits a pigeon. Esther and Max get there and Esther hands Daniel a stone and tells him to put the bird out of its misery, as it'll die anyway. He doesn't do it, so she does it herself. Esther is taking a shower. Kate goes to put some clothes in her drawer and she finds a Bible with a man's photo in it. On her first day at school, Esther wears an old-fashioned dress. Daniel and Max laugh and Kate gently suggests she could wear something else if she wants. But Esther repeats something Kate once told her. There's nothing wrong with being different. Kate can't really argue with that, so Esther goes to school dressed exactly how she wants. At school, Esther immediately becomes a target. A girl named Brenda makes fun of her clothes and later teases her about the Bible she carries. Esther tries to stay composed, but when Brenda grabs at the ribbon around her neck, Esther screams so intensely that everyone freezes. Esther always wears ribbons around her neck and wrists, and she never lets anyone touch them. After school, Kate tries to comfort Esther by teaching her to play the piano. Esther acts like she doesn't know how to play, so Kate gently guides her. Later, Kate shows her the family scrapbook and points out that she has added Esther's picture to it. Esther asks about Jessica, saying Max mentioned her. Kate takes Esther to Jessica's memorial garden, where white roses grow over the place where Jessica's ashes were scattered. Kate explains that as long as the roses bloom, it feels like a part of Jessica is still alive. Esther appears emotional and tells Kate that Jessica would have been lucky to have her as a mother. Kate thinks they're connecting. At the park, Esther secretly listens as John talks to their neighbor, Joyce. Joyce seems flirtatious, but John politely shuts it down. At the same park, Brenda appears. Esther disappears, then suddenly shows up behind Brenda at the top of a slide and pushes Brenda, who falls and breaks her leg. When John and Kate ask Esther, she claims they were only playing, and Max backs her up, saying Brenda slipped. Kate doesn't believe it, but but she can't prove anything. At dinner, Daniel calls Esther a freak and John forces him to apologize. Daniel refuses, saying Esther isn't his sister. As punishment, John locks Daniel's treehouse and says he won't get the key back until he apologizes. Sister Abigail calls Kate to check on Esther. She tells her about the Brenda incident. Esther is caught playing piano beautifully, even though she acted earlier like she didn't know how. Kate finds this strange, but John brushes it off, saying Esther probably just wanted to spend time with her. Then Kate and John argue about how John was flirting with their neighbor Joyce, as told by Esther. John cheated on Kate years ago, and Esther uses it. Sister Abigail visits the Colemans with serious concerns. She has looked deeper into Esther's past and found disturbing incidents connected to her. A boy from Esther's old school was badly injured in a suspicious accident involving scissors, and the fire that killed Esther's previous adoptive family may have been started by arson, and they haven't found out who did it. The pattern worries Sister Abigail. Kate takes this seriously. John doesn't, but they decide to take Esther to Dr. Browning. Esther has heard the entire conversation. Knowing Sister Abigail could expose her, Esther decides to stop her. She manipulates Max into helping, takes the treehouse keys, a hammer, the gun from the safe, and follows Sister Abigail as she leaves. Esther pushes Max into the road, forcing Sister Abigail to stop her car. When the sister gets out to help Max, Esther attacks her from behind with the hammer and kills her. Afterward, Esther hides the evidence in Daniel's treehouse and terrifies Max into silence. Daniel sees Esther and Max coming out of the treehouse, which makes him suspicious. That night, Esther sneaks into Daniel's room with a knife and threatens him. She forces him to say what he saw, and when he claims he saw nothing, she warns him not to tell anyone. The next day, Esther visits Dr. Browning. Instead of revealing anything useful, Esther flips the situation perfectly. Dr. Browning thinks Kate's parenting and emotional instability may be the real issue. John agrees to some of it, which leaves Kate even more isolated. Then Kate gets a call from the orphanage. Sister Abigail never returned. Soon the police find her body, but they have no suspects. Kate starts digging into Esther's background. She contacts the Russian orphanage Esther was supposedly from, but they have no record of her. John ignores it. John talks with Esther while drawing. She tells him she thinks Kate doesn't like her. John reassures her and suggests she should do something nice to show her love for Kate. That night, she gives Kate a bouquet of white roses. Esther picked them from Jessica's memorial garden. Kate breaks down instantly. Esther destroyed the one place that still connected her to her dead daughter. Kate grabs Esther by the arm, but Esther runs away, acting frightened. Then Esther goes to the tool shed and hurts herself by placing her arm in a vise and tightens it until it breaks. When John finds her injured, it looks like Kate hurt her. John takes Esther's side and makes Kate sleep on the couch while Esther stays upstairs. Kate nearly hits her breaking point. She buys wine, but instead of drinking it, she pours it down the sink. Esther makes sure the bottle is found, making Kate look guilty anyway. The next morning, while Kate is dropping the kids off at school, Daniel's books fall from his bag. Kate gets out to help him. And while she's distracted, Esther puts the car in reverse with Max still inside. The car rolls backwards and crashes into a pile of snow. Max isn't hurt, but the situation makes Kate look dangerously careless. John and Dr. Browning confront Kate. They bring up the wine bottle Esther found and suggest Kate needs rehab. Kate insists she hasn't had a drink, but John doesn't believe her. He gives her an ultimatum. Go to rehab within a week or he'll leave with the kids. Kate searches Esther's room again and finds the Bible she carries everywhere. It contains pictures of men, and the Bible is from the Sarny Institute. Kate calls the institute, thinking it might be the Russian orphanage Esther came from. But it isn't an orphanage. It's a psychiatric institution in Estonia. Meanwhile, Daniel finally decides to do something. Max shows him drawings she made of Sister Abigail's murder, revealing that the evidence is hidden in the treehouse. Daniel goes to get it, but Esther has overheard everything. She traps him inside the treehouse and sets it on fire, burning the evidence along with it. Daniel escapes through the window but falls from the treehouse. Esther picks up a rock and moves toward him to kill him. Max pushes her just in time and Kate rushes outside to help Daniel. Daniel survives but is taken to the hospital with a serious neck injury. At the hospital, Kate tries to explain everything to John, but he still doesn't believe it. Kate even says she'll leave if Esther leaves too, but John refuses to accept it. Grandma Barbara gives Esther money for the vending machine, and Esther uses that to sneak into Daniel's hospital room. She presses a pillow over his face and suffocates him. Max realizes what's happening and tries to get help, but by the time everyone arrives, Daniel flatlines. Doctors manage to bring him back, but Kate finally loses control and slaps Esther in front of everyone. The hospital staff sedates Kate, and John decides to take Max and Esther home for the night. Back at the house, John puts Max to bed. Esther enters the room to say goodnight, but as she leaves, she secretly takes Max's hearing aid. Max is now even more vulnerable because she can't hear what's happening around her. Downstairs, John drinks wine, exhausted and emotionally broken. Esther then appears wearing makeup and adult-like clothing. John is confused, but at first he's too drunk and overwhelmed. Esther tells him she loves him, and then starts making a move on him. John snaps and is horrified. He tells her he loves her as a daughter, not in the way she wants. Esther tries comforting him, calling him handsome and telling him he's a good father and husband. John gets angry and tells her he's going to send her back to the orphanage tomorrow. Esther storms away, humiliated and furious. Kate gets a call from Dr. Varva at the Sarn Institute. He tells her that Esther isn't a little girl. She's a 33-year-old woman named Lena Clammer who has a rare hormonal disorder which makes her body appear childlike. She was a violent patient at the institution and had to be restrained in a straitjacket, leaving scars on her neck and wrists. Hence, she always wore ribbons. Dr. Varava explains that Lena tricks families into adopting her, becomes obsessed with the father, tries to seduce him, and when he rejects her, she kills the family. She's connected to multiple deaths, including another adoptive family in Estonia. Kate realizes John and Max are in immediate danger. She tries to call him, but he doesn't pick up. She rushes home and calls the police. Esther removes her ribbons, fake teeth, makeup, and childlike disguise. John goes upstairs to apologize for yelling at her, but instead of finding Esther, he discovers her disturbing paintings hidden all over the walls. Under normal light, they looked harmless, but under blue light, they reveal violent and sexual images of him with her, exposing what Esther really is. John heads downstairs and Esther attacks him from the darkness. She stabs him repeatedly, killing him while Max watches from above. Max runs and hides in a closet. Kate arrives home and crashes into the house. She finds John dead and immediately searches for Max. Esther has taken a gun from the safe and starts hunting Kate through the house. Kate escapes through a window onto the glass roof of the greenhouse, where she spots Max inside. Esther enters the greenhouse too, so Kate distracts her long enough for Max to get away. Then Kate falls through the glass ceiling and lands on Esther, briefly knocking her down. Kate grabs the gun and runs outside with Max. Police sirens can be heard in the distance, but Esther appears again. She attacks Kate near the frozen pond and slashes at her with a knife, and Kate struggles to hold her off. Max manages to grab the gun and fires, but the bullet hits the ice instead of Esther. The frozen surface cracks beneath them, and Kate and Esther fall into the freezing water. Under the ice, Esther grabs Kate and refuses to let go. Kate fights back, gets out, and Esther tries to act like a helpless child, reaching out as if she still wants Kate to save her. But Kate is done being manipulated. She kicks Esther hard in the face, breaking her hold and sending her sinking into the dark water below. Kate reaches Max as the police arrive. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more full cool recaps. Comment below and tell me which survival or disaster movie you want next. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Bye!